to be able to have this conversation the way I want to, I think there's some just basic things that we have to agree on starting out. And one is that gender is a social construct, right? And that last quote that was there, that, like I said, I'll just put it into the Google Doc, is about how we start thinking about like people by their gender or by their assumed gender before they're even here, right? So thinking about like gender reveals, or even just when somebody is pregnant and like, okay, is it a boy or a girl? And like, actually, we probably won't know the answer for quite some time. And then that gender expectations, gender socialization, that impacts all of us. A lot of times we think about like folks with marginalized identities and how it impacts them. But we don't have to go very far to really think about how gender expectations and socialization has impacted all of us. And how we probably have experiences like not wanting to be put into those boxes, right? Like, I don't really like being assumed that I'd be quiet or submissive. That's not the kind of person that I am. Some other things that aren't listed up here that are just foundational to this conversation is that for students and for us at work too, feeling like you can be yourself impacts our ability to show up. And so when we feel like we can be ourselves, and that UAA or wherever we work or wherever we are feels like it's intentionally for us, we're more likely to succeed and focus on the other things that are going on, right? Like schoolwork and academics. So that just all to say that this is critical to the work that we do. Like students will do better if they're not focusing on like, what does my professor think about me or what's happening in this classroom around my identity. They're able to focus if they feel like they can be themselves. So I just wanted to start with those kinds of things to get us going. Another just really short quote that I wanted to share, and we'll kind of come back to these ideas around gender as a construct and just people being themselves, is this quote from Janet Mock, who says, I was born a baby, I was not born a boy. And I just love that, like, we're all born as babies. And again, gender is something that we have socially constructed. So kind of want to get a little bit more into this, why I talked about it a little bit before, just like, when we have inclusive classrooms or inclusive university workplaces, people feel like they belong, they feel like they can focus, and it's just all connected, right? And, we also don't have to think back all that far to realize that like literally higher education was not made for people who were not white, affluent men really trying to hone their skills in either agriculture or philosophy. So it's pretty easy to see how these systems were built not for everyone. So we have to be really intentional about making them feel like they're for everyone. And that everyone, the focus really needs to be on folks with marginalized identities, because it was made for folks with dominant identities.